Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the difference between allowance and contingency. This is something that you'll see a lot, especially as you work towards bigger projects, more um, complex clients, um, or really just any sort of system that has kind of, I guess, funding regulations. And so, lots of different clients have distinctions between contingency and allowance. And it's also important to understand as you're working on estimating. So let's get into it. On here, I've built a simple estimate. Let's say that this is for a small guard shack. I guess this would be a slightly larger guard shack. Um, and there's a few things that we're concerned about. So allowance in this case would be specific money given towards a specific item. So for example, let's say that concrete, um, we reached out to our subcontractor. We've put pricing together, and the price that we're going to contract to is $25,000. Well, we got our price back before we quite understood the type of cement. Say that there's a chance that instead of type 1-2 cement, which is general um, slash corrosion resistant cement, pretty common in the industry. Let's say there's a chance that it's actually going to be type 3 cement, which is higherly strength, a little bit more expensive. And there's a chance that it could add an additional $5,000 to our costs. Well, that's going to cause a challenge because this estimate is a GMP, a guaranteed maximum price, meaning that whether the conditions change or not, we can't really exceed our contract value. Or in this specific instance where the cement might change, we can't exceed the contract value. So what we're going to do here is put in an allowance for $5,000 to cover us in case we need to spend it. And so let's go a little bit down. Let's say that there's uh, some issues with dry utilities, which is underground electrical. And so to wire the building, to get it all commissioned, to get all the electrical to work, it's going to cost $20,000. But there's a chance that there's some underground electrical work that needs to happen. And we're kind of on the fence. It may need to happen, it may not. We're not quite positive. Um, whether whether it happens or not, we need to take into account. And so if it doesn't happen, we can either keep the money or give it back to the owner. But let's say that it's going to cost an additional $7,000 if it does happen. So we would just, plug into here $7,000. And so uh, what we can do here now is we can just hide these tabs. Actually, let's keep those tabs open just for a second. So that's what an allowance is. It's specific money for specific items, and so we're allowing money for certain changes. Contingency is a little bit different. Contingency is just an overall number or an overall price in case anything goes wrong. And so, in the example of concrete, we had a really specific item in mind. For the example of electrical, we had a really specific item in mind. For contingency, that's just if anything goes wrong. And so what we're going to do here is let's put in the allowance tab. So um, we'll highlight these cells, click the percentage format, 1.35 for builder's risk and general liability insurance. And let's actually extend that out. There we go. SDI, which is subcontractor default insurance. Um, Some people use that instead of bonding. Contingency is 3%, and then fee is going to be 10%. And so what we're going to do here, um, we'll highlight that. And remember from previous videos, all we have to do when we want to drag cells down, but keep the formula to the right or to the left, we highlight that cell and press F4, press Enter, and now we can drag down and press Control D. Great, and perfect. So, and then what we can do here is Control Copy, Shift Space, Control V. We'll change that to total. And we will change this. Actually, no, it's a subtotal function, so we want to highlight everything. Perfect. So in this case, contingency, is $9,000 in case anything goes wrong. And so that's just money to buffer against the actual cost of construction. So, for example, if metals for some reason ends up costing $51,000 instead of $50,000, we have $9,000 to cover us in case something goes wrong. Um, Now, if you're working with specific owners, some of them will only let you spend that money if an issue arises. Others may not care and they'll just kind of give you a lump sum, whether you use it or not. You get to keep it. Um, in the first scenario, the money would just kind of stay with the owner unless they allocated it to you. Um, so there we go. Sorry, and last thing, let's go ahead and right click, hide. There we go. And so now we're showing that instead of $311,000 before it was, I believe, around $300,000. Um, now we're at $360,000 to cover all of our markups and fees. And that's all I've got today. Thank you so much.